Thank you for being here and welcome to Working Mom Academy's YouTube channel. Today we are very privileged to have a very successful mompreneur who used to be in corporate. Her name is Emi Idura. Let me give a quick introduction about Emi. Emi is a mom of two young adults, the mother of Top Tuto Stylista, a company of 9 years. She used to work with corporate for 17 years. So we have a lot to learn from her and let me just give a more information about her. She is a dynamic corporate and personal brand image strategist, etiquette trainer, personal color analysis expert, and published author of Kwasa Warna. Her work has been featured in print, broadcast, and online media as a guest host to Wow, Apakata Juanita. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. And successfully published 121 articles as a columnist to Bikara Image. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly again. Megarona, Utusan, Malaysia. Thank you, Emi, for being here. Also, Emi is one of the advisors of Working Moms Academy. It is an honor and a privilege to have you, Emi.
Hi, Wanda. Thank you so much for having me today.
Emi, I know you want. Can you tell more about yourself? I spoke only a little, but can you tell more of what is Emi about?
Right. Okay, everyone. Hi, everyone. So my name is Emi Idura. You may call me Emi. It sounds like A-M-Y, although it is spelled as E-M-I, so it sounds like A-M-Y. And I am an internationally accredited and certified professional image, etiquette, and color consultant, a certified personal branding strategist by 5 countries. I started in Malaysia, and then I went to the UK, Australia, Canada, and also United States. Right, so as you mentioned, yes, prior to become an image consultant, I used to work in the corporate for 17 years. So I used to serve the multinational companies, government-linked companies, and I worked with expatriates throughout my whole working life, right? And of course, like you mentioned earlier, I am the author to Kwasa Warna, or in English, it is about the power of color. This is the purpose of this book is to guide you on how to find the right color for your wardrobe and how to mix and match them. Okay, so besides being an author, like you mentioned earlier, I used to be a columnist. I've written 121 articles. I used to be a guest host in one of the TV station in Kuala Lumpur for RTM TV1, and I worked with celebrities before. I used to be their personal shopper, image consultant, image stylist, fashion stylist, and best part being an image consultant to them is that we managed to go traveling. So we traveled to Indonesia, to China, to do personal shopping. So yeah, being image consultant, you can be everywhere, right? Okay, so my goal being as an image consultant, of course, is to be the leading brand image strategist and color analysis expert who offers a comprehensive brand image solution to corporates, entrepreneurs, and passionate individuals, mummies like us, right, who wants to live their dreams.
I love that introduction. I think, there's so much I want to learn from you and we can learn from you. So let's get it rolling. The first question, Emmy, you said you've worked for corporate for 17 years. And I think the first question is, what made you decide to be an entrepreneur?
Okay, the reason why, actually I didn't open up about this to the public as much as people, when people ask me this question, right? Amy, why do you want to be an entrepreneur? Most of the time I would say, oh, because it's my passion. But honestly, the reason, uh, the big factor, or the main factor which I wanted to resign from the corporate to this industry is because I was ill. I was ill in 2008 and it got worse in 2012. I was treated at four hospitals and I visited 24 doctors, which they couldn't find any what's wrong with me. So one of the reason why one day I told myself, okay, I think that's it. I want to leave the corporate. I want to be on my own. Is because one day they called me for a meeting and they said, Amy, if you want to stay in the office, you shouldn't take any more medical leave. Or if you're still on sick leave, then you have to decide whether you are here or you go. So that was the push factor for me. Is like, okay, if that's the reason why, if it's hard for me to share with these others, because normally if people ask me, I would like, okay, it's because of my passion. But truth to be told, the reason why is because of my sickness, which most of the doctors couldn't diagnose the reason. So I took that opportunity. I thought to myself, okay, I think I have to move forward. I have to be positive. I have to, like, because I have kids, right? I have family, right? So I believe that I believe in myself at that time, even though I was really, really bad. I was really in very, very ill. So I took the opportunity. I told myself, okay, this is it. I have to move on. So if there's this, if I'm not, I'm not being accepted here anymore. So I think that's the reason why I took that decision, and just give myself a chance. I told to myself, okay, I think you have to move on, Amy. If there's no way for you to be there anymore. So yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, Emmy. I can relate to that. I mean, way back in 2014, I mean, I love my job, but I'm always sick. And I cannot find out why. Neither doctors cannot make sense of it. And my boss told me that time, Wanda, you're always sick every month. I'm really taking the sick leave every month. And, I always blame the weather, I blame the work. But at
Mm-hmm.
some point in time, I realized this is already burnout. And one of the persons, I was reading through an article, and one of even I on LinkedIn recently, there was a post by this guy who said, if you're not living your ikigai, your reason for being, something that sparks joy within you will always have burnout at some point in your life. And that could lead to physical sickness, mental sickness, and all. So the next question is, how did you find out that this business is something that is fit for you, and how did it help you physically, mentally? How did it improve your wellness?
Okay, what happened was, because all the while, even I was in the corporate, I love dressing up. I love fashion. I love dressing up. Even to the office, I believe like full makeup. And those days I wear wig. Right. A full wigs, either it's short or long, but I do have collections of wig. So yeah, I was quite different in the office, because I always look at myself as somehow I want to be different. So I have this principle throughout my life, I guess, because I believe if you want to be irreplaceable, you must always be different. So from that moment when I told to myself, okay, Amy, you need to look forward and think, what is you're always passionate about, right? What is whatever that you do in the morning or every day you do, what is it that you're passionate about? Yes, I love makeup, but makeup is not really mine. I don't really have that skill. It's just that I love fashion. I love to shop. I was a shopaholic before. Right. Right. So I guess I took the opportunity, because I believe, yes, I love fashion, but I need to learn. I need to find the right knowledge, the right mentor who could actually guide me in order for me to move forward. Because I vowed to myself, I told myself, no, I'm not gonna apply for any other job elsewhere, because I want to be a boss. I want to be I want to have my own business. I want to be a boss. So I don't want to report to anyone else. I don't want to do any more reports, go to meetings. No, that's it.
So that's actually very interesting. I think, and of the many women I've interviewed over the past few months, what they always say is that, when you find something that gives you joy, that is something that you are really born to do with. Like, for example, one of my friends who also I interviewed, she loves the smell of dust. And when she sees it, she's like hype. I mean, it gives her so much happiness. You know why? She's into construction, and she's very successful in it as a woman. I mean, construction is normally a men's business, right? But she said,
Yeah.
Wanda, I love the smell of cement, dirt. It makes me excited. And I was like, oh, that's why you're very successful in construction. So for you, I think you are very successful in this business niche because you're able to capitalize on what you love to do, right? And
Mhm.
because as you said, you have to be irreplaceable to be different. That's very interesting. Okay. The next question is, what are the three challenges that you face? I mean, moving from employment to entrepreneurship, I mean, I know it's not an easy ride. There's no shortcut to anything. So maybe can you share with us what are the top three challenges that you face when you moved and left your job and started to build this business that you really love to do?
Okay. This is my personal experience. Now, number one, lack of connection. This is one of the big challenge that I had when I jumped from corporate to this industry. I have lack of connection. Yes, I do have friends. I do have yes VIP connection, but I'm the type who doesn't use the connection for my own personal gain. I don't do that because I believe if I'm good, they would know, they would notice me. So I'm that kind of person. I don't really call them, hey, I need help. I don't really use that. Okay, so lack of connection. Number two is rejection. So I believe many people do have these challenges when they first started in anything, in any business, right? Rejection. So right, and when you had that rejection, I had these challenges. The first 3 years, I just couldn't take it when people reject my proposal or my call, because I believe I do have the right strategic knowledge. It's just that why is it people are not looking into my proposal? So I took it very badly, and of course I do really cry, every time where I was really being rejected, because I because number one, because I don't really understand the industry very well. I don't really understand how does it work. How do people accept your proposal? Then I mean the steps and the process. I don't really, because I don't really have that mentor in Malaysia at that time, because my master was from UK. So of course she has a different way of doing things, right? Because she told us before, don't worry about about clients, they will come to you. You don't have to chase them. So I was like, okay, don't have to chase them. They will come to me. But it doesn't work here in Malaysia. It won't work here in Malaysia. It's different. It's different. It's totally different way of doing business. So yeah, they are like that because they are professional. In Europe, in Western countries, they are different. Like in Asian, you really have to find connection and networks, a circle of friends who could really help. Yeah. Number two is rejection. Number three is the market perception, that image consultant, they should only pay very cheap. So this is market perception. Oh, image consultant, we just only pay them very cheap. Because why? Because when I first joined in this industry, I can see that many of the consultants who only offers grooming, etiquette. So is somehow they feel that, oh, this is a soft skill, which is not really an important what do you call it, topics, or right, for the organization, or upskilling the employees. So they feel that our whatever that we propose is not really important for them. So there's this also another challenge for me to go out there and create awareness. Hey, we are image consultant. We are actually image consultant, which is internationally accredited and local accredited. They have different types of module. So when I came into the industry, I can see why our market here see us as, they want to pay us cheaper. So another challenge is that we could also see even hairdressers, makeup artists who also claim themselves as image consultant. So you can see even those who are not certified, accredited, still they call themselves as image consultant. Yeah, so you can see the challenges that I face in this industry.
That's quite a lot. But I
Yeah,
think it's not just your industry, it's all around, right? I mean,
right,
every businesses have faced those, challenges of lack of connection,
right.
rejection, the market perception, which we have to deal with. So how did you overcome this? Because that's the most interesting part, right? I mean, how did you turn around and make a brand of yourself?
Okay. You know what? Because I'm the type who, okay, just go for it. And my mission at that time was, I have to create as much as awareness to people. Say that, okay, I have a value. I'm an image consultant, but I do have value. The way that I create awareness those days when I first started was I blog. I blog a lot. I mean, I have my own blog previously. I used to have a blog which I turned into my website. Okay, so I blog a lot. I give lots of tips on Facebook. I don't really use LinkedIn at that time because I don't really believe on LinkedIn at that time, because I was like, okay, maybe Facebook is the only platform for me to, to get new connection, get people to know me. So I use that platform a lot to create a lot of tips, and then of course I do blog. And I guess I was quite lucky because I started to follow a few women NGOs and the president itself. So I've been following them. I went to their events, and they even when they are invited to the TV station for any live shows, the president will always grab me, Amy, come, just follow me. And I guess because of that experience, because of that, that what when they had that what do you call that? When they had the opportunity, when they grabbed me, the thing was the host would ask, oh, who is this? And then introduce me to her, right? So when I give my card, so that's the reason, I think one of the reason why, they start to get to know me. And then of course when they are on my Facebook friends, they get to know, oh, okay, Amy does a lot of creating awareness, do lots of blogging, she puts a lot of tips. So yeah, I managed to get that. I started from being a guest host, and then I got an opportunity to write as a columnist. So it took me 3 years, being a columnist. So that's the reason why I managed to get 121 articles written within that 3 years.
That's very nice. I think what I learned here is that number one, as you said, you have a never give up attitude, right? So I think that is what makes you unique. And also, as you said, you add value. You wrote a lot of blog. I mean, 121 is really a lot. So I cannot imagine. But I think that's what I also think most successful people are. They give a lot of value. And
Mhm.
when people see the value in what you do, that is when the creation, I mean, the connection really comes. And as they said, that connection equals currency. So, and my next question is, what is your advice? I mean, a lot of people, especially in corporate, they also want to start a business.
Mhm.
But they also have this anxiety of, will I be successful? Is this idea right for me? What am I to gain or to lose? What is your advice to those moms, especially who are anxious of jumping and transitioning to become their own boss?
Okay. Number one, you have to find your passion. What are you passionate about? When you wake up in the morning, what do you passionate about? Is it cooking? Is it gardening? Is it you love, somehow people love to take photograph, right? So you have to think of what is it that makes you happy doing it. Some people, they are happy when they do makeup, right? So you have to think, oh, okay, if that's the one thing that you really really love, like you're doing it every single day without fail, then go for it. If you know that you're good in it, let's say you're good in cooking, right? So but somehow, even though you're good in cooking, you might not have the right skill to do it. I mean, the right ingredients, you wouldn't know how to cook the right dishes if you don't know the right ingredients for it, right? Next, you have to find a mentor. Most important thing, you have to find a mentor, or you need to find somehow, like myself, what I did was I love to I look for the subject matter expert. Right. So if you love cooking, so you look for the subject matter expert, not only within your market, not only within your country, but look outside there. I'm the type of person who not only look around I mean, within Malaysia itself, but I always look outside of Malaysia, right? Because they have different set of skill, they have different mindset. So I love to be, to learn from, from these kind of people.
That's very good. Thank you for sharing that. I agree with you. When you really found your passion, I think that is what is keeping you really moving on. Because if you have a business, if you start something, just because others are successful in that, I'm sure you will fail. But if you really do what you love and find a right mentor, the subject matter expert, then you're really on the right path. Now, moving to getting to know more about you. What motivates you every day? I mean, what keeps you going? I know you already have young adult kids. So, what keeps you, I mean, motivated every day to continue doing this, this business?
Okay, one thing that motivates me because I do have friends, acquaintance who believe in me, who has, I mean, they love what I do. They always wait for my sharing, right? And when I do classes, okay, Amy, when is your next class? They always wait for the next class, right? So if I were to like stop or just, you know, and suddenly if I decide I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to continue any longer. So I believe it will not do any good to these people, right?
That's very true. Thank you for sharing that. My next question is, what is your biggest struggle as a mompreneur, and how did you overcome that? Because a lot of women stop in between, and maybe sharing your story can inspire them that they're almost there or they will make it somehow.
Biggest struggle,
Yeah.
meaning that.
Yes, your biggest struggle when you as a mompreneur, is it about time? Is it about I mean you've shared already about the connection and all, right? I mean, at some point in time, was there a decision where you just said, "Oh, maybe I just give up and go back to corporate?" Was there a situation like that? And what was that biggest struggle?
Okay, the biggest struggle would be your mindset because you would be like, okay, I think this is not for me. What if this is not happening? What if I fail? Right? You must have that positive mindset all, I guess, all the time. Right? I know there will be time where you feel like, whether should I continue? Like what we are having today, the current pandemic, there's, we all struggle, every business now struggle, right? But again, change the mindset. You always have to believe that whatever happens in your life, there will always be a blessing in disguise, right? And most importantly, you must believe in yourself because no one else could do that for you.
Mm.
And in order for you to be successful, you must love yourself first, right? And I do believe that, because I have been like, when I asked the participants of my training, participants, I asked them who wants to be successful, and almost everyone, like, raise their hand. I want to be successful. But the second question I will ask, then, who is the most important person to you? Right? Is it your parents? Is it your siblings? Is it your kids? Is it your husband? So if they keep saying that, oh, it's my parents, it's my kids, now you have to think back. In order for you to support them, in order for you to help them, you need to help yourself first. You need to love yourself first, right? You need to be successful first in order for you to help them, right? But
Mm.
one thing for sure, in order for you to help them, you are lacking of one tool, which is the knowledge, the right knowledge in order for you to move forward, right? And like I mentioned earlier, in order for you to move forward, look out for the mentors or the subject matter expert that you're really passionate in. And trust me, you will be successful one day.
Ah, that's there's a lot of nuggets of wisdom there. So I think, as you said, believing in yourself, loving yourself first. I mean, as moms, right, we always have this, put the husbands first, put the needs of the children, of the parents. I mean, we are naturally nourishers and givers. But I think in the process of giving, then we end up, there's nothing left for ourselves. So talking about self-care and self-love, I know when you asked that question, I was like, oh yeah, I didn't also have that first answer of myself. So I need to get that corrected as well. So how do
Why,
you
Wanda? Because Wanda, because
uh,
I do have people who comes to me who feel very sad when whatever happened in their life. So you can see actually the main question that they need to ask, is it me or is it about them? So before you help them, you need to you help yourself first, right? Improve on yourself first. Personal development is the most important thing, right? Self development. Do that first, and then you can see when you change, when you love and start to respect yourself, you can see other people start to love and respect you.
I love that. Actually, Emmy, when I experienced burnout in 2014, I was blaming everybody, the work, everything that's giving me stress. But then I realized when I said, this is not about them, this is about me. And when I started to take this training, coaching, and all, that is when everything shifted for me, because that is when I said, let me put myself first, learn what I need to learn. And that is when everything shifted in my life also. I mean, I started to have great relationships with my husband, with my kids. I became more patient. And I think that's very important. You are correct. When you put yourself first, develop yourself, that is when everything around you will change as well. So maybe you can share us, what is your personal development tool that you do every day that keeps you, I can see how much positive you are. So what is that number one thing that you do every day that keeps you positive?
Okay, the most important thing is consistency. Whatever you do, you must be consistent in order for you to be successful. So what I did was, I guess it started in 2009. Every single day, without fail, I will look out for motivational quotes. I will keep them. I save them. I guess I have thousands of motivational quotes on my phone. Yeah, so that's one thing that I would never escape, or even before I sleep, even my husband already asleep, I have to make sure I find motivational quotes, because that's the only way to motivate yourself and be positive, right? And of course, I look for prayers. For Islamic way of prayers, yeah, I do look for motivational quotes, prayers, because that really helps. Because sometimes, yes, you might think that, oh, I need to call my friend, but you have to think they also have problems, right? So instead of go to someone, why do you start to heal yourself first, right? Mm.
That's very good. I think, we eat, they said, the body eats. I mean, we feed our body with food. But I think it's, if you feed your mind with positivity, which is through prayers, through, reading positive quotes, that is how you can also develop a positive mindset.
Yeah,
That's
I
very
can
good.
prove that, Wanda, because I can see that when you have the positivity inside you, right? It will make your life different. Seriously.
That's very true. I've seen that also. I mean, when I started to become a more positive person, I thought I'm an optimist already. But when I changed my, when I tried to see the silver lining in everything, that is
Mm.
when everything changed. Even for the kids, I always focus and tell them what's the brighter side here, because really there always is.
Yes.
And the next question, I know you are not just a mompreneur, but you are a wife and a mother. And how do you manage all of this? Because I know relationships change over the years. How do you manage this life, a family, and a business?
Okay. I guess I'm lucky because my husband is very supportive, right? And how do I manage? As you can see, that I have young adults, two young adults, which I don't have to really look after them every single day. But of course, I need to manage them, right? I still need to know where are they going, what are their friends, right? And when I left the corporate, one thing that I believe it becomes an advantage to me is because I always stay at home. When I left the corporate, I told myself I'm not going to have an office. I prefer to stay at home because I left them for many years, and I feel guilty for it. So when I start this journey, I've set up everything at home, and one of the reasons because I want to stay near them. I want to know what's happening to them, who are their friends. So because we among us, me and my husband and my kids, we treat them as friends, right? And not as our children, but really as friends. We go out for coffee, and then yeah, we always have special moments every single week. I mean not now. Now is MCO. We can't do that anymore at the moment. But normally we go for coffee chat. Just have a chill with the kids.
That's very good. Thank you for sharing that. I think, as you said, treating your kids as friends is very
Mm-hmm.
important. I mean, but having that boundary, of course, that you're still a parent. I always tell my kids, mommy is like your friend. So feel free to tell me anything that bothers you or anything you want to say. That's also very good. So my next question is, how did you manage the business during the pandemic? I know, there's a lot of disruptions that happen. How did you transition? How did your business change?
Okay. Well, the challenges when the pandemic, affect us, right? Most of the time, we did a face-to-face training. So when this happened, I have to change my business module. Instead of face-to-face training, so I have to do online classes, online masterclass, right? And I guess that wasn't a big challenge for me because I used to host. To me, camera is not something that I'm scared of. The only challenge would be for me to get the proper lighting, proper background. Because I'm the type of perfectionist, I have to make sure that everything's perfect first before before I'm online. I have, in terms of appearance. So that's the only challenge, right? When people block my time, Amy, the time is at 9 p.m. like today. I have to prepare at least two hours in advance.
Wow.
Of course, yeah, to make sure everything perfect, to set up everything. Yeah. So yeah, I guess the challenge would be on that part, but the rest I'm okay. Yeah.
That's good to hear. Okay, I think it's about adaptability and also adapting to your own personality, right? If you are, as you said, a perfectionist and you need 2 hours time, I think that is something that you have to be flexible and to adapt to your own self. Then you can be, you can fit into anything as long as you know who you are.
Yeah.
and bring that to whatever situation you are in. Okay, we're almost over to this interview. I've really learned a lot. I think the next question now is, what is your advice to those entrepreneurs, mompreneurs especially, who are struggling with their business?
Okay. Now, for those who struggling in their business, right? Like I've mentioned earlier, number one is always believe in yourself, right? I know that we all face the same thing in every part of the world. We all face the same thing today, with all the pandemic is affecting us, and just think positive, right? Believe in yourself. Avoid FOMO, fear of missing out. I know some people when they start up a new business, they always like look to others. Oh, what are they? What is my friends doing? Oh, they are very successful selling cakes. Oh, I want to bake cakes too. No, so don't do that. Now, this is another challenge within our community itself. When they see somebody who's very successful doing something, oh, I have to follow them. But at the end, they fail. Because why? Because they don't have the right skill, the skill set, they don't have the right knowledge, they don't have the right mentor to do it, or probably financial to do it. So at the end of the day, they're stuck and they're like, okay, I'm not going to do this. And they surrender, right? So again, if you feel that like I mentioned earlier, if you know what's your passion, right, and you know what you do best, you know what's your strength, invest in knowledge. Look out for the right mentor, look out for the right subject matter expert, and never say to yourself, I want it for free. You will never gain success in your life if you always ask for free things, right? Because I know some people, oh, everything want free, everything want a discount, right? Because when I first jumped into this business, I do respect people who are in their own industry. Like when I enroll into the what do you call that, the certification in the UK, I have to spend 50,000 ringgit Malaysia, so it is not cheap. Yeah, so and for information, 50,000 is not from my own savings. Some of it I loan from the bank. Because why? Because I want to be that person. I dream to be an image consultant who is internationally accredited and certified, and I want to be known at international level one day. So that was my vision, right? And my mission, in order for me to move to that vision, is for me to get the right knowledge and the right mentor.
I agree with you in many aspects. I mean, the thing is that when you get things for free, you take it for granted. This is what I've seen. But when you invested the money, in your psychology, you're like, I need to get something out of this. Especially when you make investments of $10,000 or 50,000 ringgit. I mean, to this program, this is what I've also experienced. I might be enrolling in a lot of free courses. Okay, I will listen, but maybe I will do or not do. But when the moment I invested money, it becomes different, right? Your dynamics become different in terms of your learning, your application, because you know you need to make a return out of that investment. So that is very good.
True.
So for those people who are afraid to invest in themselves, I truly agree with Emmy. You know, the truth is that the best investment is investing in yourself, because that is when, you know, I used to have that shining FOMO syndrome also, and the shining object syndrome, you know, because I was not clear of who am I and what I want to do. But
Right.
as Emmy said, if you're clear about your passion, you know, you follow that path, that will never be wrong. So I hope you're getting a lot from Emmy, and you, I did a lot of mistakes, you know, following what other people do. But the moment I found my ikigai, my passion, and really build on learning that, doing more of that, the joy is so much, and really the money will come and follow you, right? So my last question, Emmy. I know at this point in time, I'm very happy to meet people like you who have it all. I mean, success in terms of family. I mean, you have a complete family, you're still married, you also have a very successful business. I mean, there's a myth that you just have to choose between family and career. But it is, this is why Working Moms Academy is all about, for women to be inspired by women like you, that women can have it all, success personally and professionally. What are your other three tips? What do you think did you do well that helped you have this life that you have now?
Wow. A supportive husband.
Okay, that's really good.
How to get a supportive husband is we have to treat them like friends, right? Not only, yes, they are our husband, but when we treat them as friends, I treat him as if that he's still my boyfriend. So it's, it's different, right? When you treat a husband and you treat a boyfriend, it's different. So yeah, you must have a positive support system, right? Who believe in you, who really supports you in whatever that you do. So I've seen women out there who has this challenge when they want to move forward, but the husband or the people surrounding them, could be their parents, could be the siblings, who say, no, this is not for you, right? Yeah. So what else? What was the question again?
So three tips. So number one, you said is supportive husband, right? So
Mhm.
I definitely agree. A supportive system. I think initially, you know, when I shifted and left my job, my husband was like, "This is this really something you want to do?" But
Yeah.
I think the moment you start it and they see the joy in what you do, they will start supporting you also. Because what I learned, every family member, every loved one that you have only wants to protect you. They don't want you to be hurt. Because when you make these transitions, right, there's a lot of uncertainty also, which your family wants to save you from. But the moment they see that there's something that you're doing that sparks joy within, they start supporting you. So just continue doing that, right? So what are the other two tips you think for women? So having a supportive family, a support system. What are the other two tips so you can be successful professionally and personally?
The other two tips, I believe you must always believe in yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because if I don't believe in myself, I don't think so that I'll be here today, right? I would have say, okay, that's it. I think because why? Because the first 3 years, I really thought that, or I don't think that I can move on because of the rejection, because of lack of connection, because of the market perception. So the first 3 years was really challenge for me. I was like about to say, okay, that's it. I want to move forward, but somehow deep inside me, which I also mentioned earlier, because I can see that people do actually, they look forward to what I do, to what I was sharing. So I believe people need the knowledge that I'm sharing today. So I cannot just say, hey, I just want to just I just want to shut down everything and be a housewife or be a mom at home. Because anyway, as a person, I'm not that type of person who could really stay at home and do nothing and wait for my husband to come home. No, I'm not that type of person, because I've been working throughout my life, 17 years. I cannot just sit at home and do nothing, do gardening, or I'm not that type of person. And I have to do something. And furthermore, because I love, I'm very passionate into fashion, on image, on branding. So that's the reason why I just move forward, right? Of course, number one is because number one is you need to have a good support system. Number two, you need to believe in yourself, right? And what else? Number, hmm, what else?
I think what I've heard about you the most is also about finding your passion. You spoke a lot about that, right? I mean, in today's session, that is something that always, you pressed upon, find your passion, be an expert in what you do. So do you think that's another thing that's
Yes, exactly. Finding your passion. So whatever that you face in your life, it doesn't matter if you have people who doesn't have the confidence in you. You know that you have that strength. You have the skill. So just move forward. Move forward, but do your best. Always do your best consistently. So in terms of branding, what you need to know is number one, you have to be clear of who you are, what are you passionate about, what industry that you want to jump into, right? You have to know about the market, of course, all right? And number two, you have to do it consistently. So don't say today, okay, I'm lazy, I don't have time, I just want to stay at home, just watch TV. You can't do that. You have to just move, move, move. Just do it consistently. So you have to understand which are the platform that really suits with what you do. Some people, they're very successful on Instagram, but I don't. I don't really have, because I don't really have much time, to spend on Instagram. So I believe my target would be always on LinkedIn. Yeah. And I only realized that maybe 2-3 years ago. Can you imagine? I only realized that 2 to 3 years ago. And number three, after you're clear of who you are, you're consistently doing it, you need to be constantly be visible among your target market, your target audience,
mm,
right? Yeah. Clear, consistent, constant.
That's very good. I'm learning a lot today. Emmy, I would like to thank you very much for all that you shared today. I hope all of you are learning a lot from Emmy today. And if you do like this interview, feel free to share to those who might find this useful. And of course, Emmy, this is the opportunity for you to share how can people get in touch with you, and if you want to promote something, that then please feel free.
Okay, I'm happy if we would have workshop in the future, right? And I would be happy to help women who are probably they're stuck in how do they move forward, right? How do they brand themselves? How do they build an online presence? It doesn't matter, could be on Facebook or could be on Instagram, could be on LinkedIn, right? How do you build that presence and credibility? I don't always mention about presence, but you need to be credible as well when you're out there, right? Because when people see you, the most important thing they would be thinking in their mind, this is through research, 15 years of research, they will be asking two questions in their mind. Can I trust this person? Should I respect him or her? So you need to know what kind of strategy, what are the strategies that you need to start applying so that when people see you, you are somehow seen as someone who is credible, can be trusted, likable, with warmth and competence, right? So yeah, I'm looking forward for our collaboration and workshop in the future, because I believe women out there really need the knowledge and help from me.
I'm actually very excited. For those of you, watch out. Emmy is our advisor at Working Moms Academy, and her program will be one of the programs that we will introduce in second quarter. Emmy, I think women will learn a lot from you personally and professionally, because you've already walked the path and we just want to follow you. So watch out for that upcoming program, because of course, definitely Emmy and I will work together to help more women really step into their power, so they can be likable, respectable, and visible, right? Because I always believe every person has their own story, has their own contribution to this world. And once you see that, then that is where everything falls into the right place. So thank you again, Emmy, for
Thank
your
you.
time. I would like to thank everybody who's watching. Click subscribe, and please feel free to share this Working Moms Academy's YouTube channel to moms or to your friends or to relatives who might find this interview useful. And watch out for our upcoming interviews to feature other successful mompreneurs and, of course, those successful women in corporate. Thank you, Emmy, so much.
Thank
I
you,
look
Sandra.
forward to
Can I say
speaking to
the
you
last
again.
word to the
Yes, yes,
audience?
of course. Yes, of course, please.
Stop faking it till you make it. Just do it till you become it.
Ah, I like that. That's very nice, Emmy. And do you have a YouTube channel also that we can
Yes,
follow?
yes, I do. Just look out for Perunding image. I guess we will put it on the YouTube comments because it is written in Bahasa.
Okay,
So
okay.
image Emi Idura, yes.
That's very good. So follow Emmy on LinkedIn, and in this YouTube recording, we will of course put her YouTube channel. So follow Emmy, please. And I know she can help you a lot. I can feel that. I can sense that. So get in touch with Emmy, and thank you again for your time.
Thank
Have
you
a
so much.
great day,
Have a
Emmy.
good day. Take
Okay.
care. Stay safe.
Bye.